What's up? I wanted to just drop in and offer this quick practice, but it's not even a quick practice. This is really just a reminder of how important these days are and repeating the magical daily practice of meditation and using the sound science of mantra. But today is a really powerful day, the spring equinox. We get two of these days a year, these equinoxes, which essentially are, it's a very magnetic frequency because this is a point at which the sun is crossing over the center of the planet, and it creates this very powerful pulse. So it's like an equalizer, right? It's equal parts day and night, and it's the great equalizing effect of the earth and the cosmos. And it's not just a metaphor, but it's an actual electromagnetic harmonizing. But it's also representative of the light and the dark, right? The breath, the polarity, the inhale, the exhale. So this is a great opportunity for like a major frequency upgrade because it's so potent, this harmonizing. And the high powered elite, and spiritual practitioners for thousands of years, so many civilizations have been using these practices and being very reverent and very, very devoted to these days, right? Because the understanding that this upgrade is extremely potent. So on a day like today, you want to do everything you can. And it's not just something that will affect you, but as you tune in, you affect the entire collective. And it's hard sometimes as humans to wrap our heads around that because we want to make meaning of things. And I completely relate to that as a scientist. I mean, we're always like looking, but it's, humans were natural born kind of meaning seekers. We're always trying to create a very, specific like narrative to help us understand what's happening around us. And that's cool and it's normal. But on days like today, it's an opportunity. And I know my own personal experiences, I've been able to let go and just tap into the trust that is here, that the energy I feel, it's here for us to engage in these frequencies that exist right now in the highest way beyond our understanding. When you ease that part of your brain and allow that, the highest magnetic space that you possibly can, you start to come into synchronicity with that and you can feel that. And that's what meditation has been for me personally over the years. And it's allowed me to come into that now space, right? Because we're so trained in this chronological time, which then just creates this very, very flat, very horizontal reality. And it limits us from experiencing time and space as one in a more vertical way, right? Because whatever is considered right now, this moment, like the frequency of this moment, everything you're doing right now actually affects any future or past, right? So some of the political and health issues, the pressures that are going on right now that are so tremendously high in these unprecedented times, it's it's really it's really created time for us, right? So we kind of get to like sit and face ourselves without all of these distractions. And what we're feeling is a whole other level of pressure that we've never felt before, or at least not in kind of our lifespan as we know it, right? In this modern day. And one of my spiritual teachers shared, it's a very medicinal pressure. And I love that because on a day like today, You can, and literally a day like today in history, like this is a prophecy day. This particular spring equinox in 2020, in this particular circumstance, as we're seeing it unfold right now in what's happening, whatever kind of choices you're making and whatever kind of, you know, input output you're having a broadcast, right, with, like, you're broadcasting out on this equinox day, it's not just affecting you now, it's changing the past and the future simultaneously, and that's the power of this equalizing effect. So you get to work on creating the highest frequency that you can, which is love. And what I mean by love is not like romantic feelings or like how you feel towards somebody or something. It's literally the magnetic resonance of the heart, the actual current, the waveforms of the heart, the power of the heart is love, that love frequency. And when we get into that, and we've all felt that as humans, when you tap into that love frequency, it melts fear. It is impossible to feel fear and love at the same time. So this day is an amazing opportunity to get into the most magnetic love frequency that you possibly can, because it's going to affect your now experience as you feel it right now, and it's going to affect the entire time space field in a vertical way, right? It changes what you know the past to have been. You literally rewrite your destiny. You rewrite your future through love frequency rather than through fear. You rewrite your past through seeing where the lessons were instead of staying stuck in resentment. And that's love. So many similar civilizations, that they've been devoted, or the civilizations, I should say, that have been devoted to the evolution and involution of the human have been optimizing these days for centuries. I mean, like, literally, again, this is they called this day in as a prophecy that we're living right now. We get to live in this, and we can see this as a great and potent gift, this potent instant where we're being called upon. So today is an opportunity to understand the thoughts that you're thinking, the choices that you're making, the feelings that you're vibrating with, the behaviors that you're moving in, and observe, like, what is the frequency you're carrying right now? And are you choosing consciously? Like, are you choosing wisely? What are the thoughts that are self-promoting? What story are you choosing to write? You want to make sure it's a self-promoting story, that it uplifts you. And how do you construct that narrative? Right? Because you're constructing a story constantly. And again, the spiritual teaching here is it's always going to be you and you, right? That's the spiritual journey. And I've learned that from my own journey and my spiritual mentors. It's so you can choose this less neurotic path when you start to see what is self-promoting. What does that look like? Some sort of evolutionary frequency, some sort of pulse that feels good. And when that feels good, when you tap into that frequency of the story that you're writing, that's like, wow, it feels so good to see that vision, and that becomes your north star that pulls you through in right action for you. And only you can create that story, or you can co-create it with the divine, with the universe, right? That's why it feels so good. It's in your path, and it feels good to have that vision, because it is your highest destiny, as opposed to a fear-based fate That's a choice too. You can choose that story. Does it feel good in your system? No. So you get to choose it on a day like today, right? And be really, really tuned into, hmm, okay, is this storyline of the highest frequency that is allowing you to choose your most exalted energy in the moment to carry you to do the things that you came to the planet to fulfill, right? You've got a dharma, you've got a mission. You came here to complete that mission in this lifetime, and no one else can do it in the way that you can do it. So you have to create a story that is going to allow you to do so. It's you and you, right? No one else is going to write the story for you, do it for you, save you from the destructive patterns. It's your opportunity to create your winning story, to coalesce that with the universe. And you self evolve by choosing that highest destiny frequency and allow that to lead you above the fear. And that the only person, again, that can do that is you. And that's self initiation. And that's the magnetic force that we can harmonize with on a day like today. So when you're co-writing this story with the universe, with the divine, with God, whoever you want to, call in, whoever you subscribe to, how do you want to see the world? Like, how do you want to see your life? This is the perfect chance to observe as many perspective as you possibly can. And this is a great practice. This is a great practice. This is where it comes back to two things: meditation and mantra. Mantra can simply be, are you telling yourself positive things over and over or negative things over and over? But then there's the whole sound science of mantras that we've been gifted through thousands of years of yogic science and yogic technology. So there are certain mantras that literally can cleanse and clear the glands and also work to filter information as it's coming in. So the practice can be this: you can look at the most extreme, worldviews. So the most conservative all the way to the most cray cray. And you get this whole rainbow, right? And then you run a mantra through your system. And that mantra, that sound current acts as a human filter. The sound science is literally an organizing principle for this information age. That is so freaking cool and so powerful. It's the quantum mechanics of sound. I've been a student, fascinated and devoted to this study for so long. Quantum mechanics and understanding sound, right? This is beyond spirituality, this is pure physics. What the mantra does is it organizes your frequency and energy so that when any information comes in, there is a filter for that information, and it sifts through and creates a pattern for you of high quality. It's a high quality pattern that sorts the information and pulls out your truths, what resonates for you, relevant solutions, creative ideas, possibilities. And what else does it do? It excretes the rest, the noise, the nonsense. It excretes that as toxins. And then in daily meditation, that stuff gets cleaned out on a regular basis. You're excreting what doesn't serve you on a regular basis. And then you get to repeat again, in yogic science. I mean, it's goes back to the word jap or japa, repeat this self-cleaning process every day. Repeat these mantras over and over. Because if you don't, what happens? It builds up. all of that stuff builds up in the vestibule we call the subconscious mind. And it gets real cluttered and hectic in there. And you start to experience this neurotic bloat of destructive information and kind of illusions and distortions of what your memories of the past were, and creating these traumas that you're bringing with you into the now and then into the future. And then you just don't feel good. Like you begin and continue to feel scared and trapped and stressed and kind of in this turmoil and commotion, and then you're in that frequency. So I like to think of meditation as, it's like it's the self-cleaning system in the oven of your body, of all of your bodies, your energetic bodies, your physical body, your mental bodies. And it starts to clear out over time lifetimes of patterns and scarrings and just stuff that's just not even relevant to you, and it may not even be yours. It could be collective trauma, ancestral trauma. So the mantra gives you a pattern and a sound frequency that is so powerful, and it's faster than the information that's coming out you. So you have this kind of protective filter, and you literally can bring in any information in a real kind of ninja way, right? Like you can see it, and you cut out what isn't relevant to you, and then you optimize what is. And again, the practice is like, look at the spectrum of, let's say, world news that's out there. And then you're practicing the repetition of your mantra. And you can chant a mantra, you can recite a mantra, you can play tracks of a mantra, you can do it in meditation. That you have that playing throughout your house, throughout your day, on your earbuds in your car. And then as that information is coming in, again, you cut out what's meaningless, destructive to you, file the things that may be relevant in the future, and use what's helpful or constructive to you right now on your mission to carry out your highest destiny. That's really how the brain works from a physiological standpoint. It's just a massive filing system. And we can optimize this incredibly brilliant tool to work for us through this daily practice of meditation, to continuously cleanse and clear, chanting to continuously filter information, cleaning out the subconscious, regulating the endocrine function. So you're always optimizing emotionally to be in harmony. And again, capitalizing on an equinox day where things are coming into a balance point that you get to drop in and be really crystal clear. It is going to help you organize and process and deliver in a way that supports you in carrying out your mission that your soul has called you forth for to complete. So I would offer up just continuing to practice any kind of meditation and mantra on a daily basis, and calling in an observation of what your frequency is right now, and asking yourself how you can tap into the highest magnetic frequency of love on this equinox, and utilizing that frequency to alter your past and your future, and calling forth the energy you need, especially in times like these high pressurized times, to still be in light and on path with your mission. And you know what? Build in the opportunity to take a little break, because that pressure, we require a little bit of release. So I'd say celebrate that spring equinox as well and enjoy yourself. So much love. And just, we're all in this together. Peace out.